So today we'll talk about multiple time frame trading and whether it's good for you to go on lower time frame to find trades if you swing trade and vice versa. And also most importantly, how to find trades on the lower time frame with your higher time frame analysis. What is up traders? Welcome back to Bangkok in Thailand once again. Today I want to share with you something interesting, and we'll get in the chart right now and I'll show you first of all the theory and then the practical example on how to look for lower time frame trades, these day trades, within your swing trading perspective, and how to be able to do that, to be able to eventually maybe double your return or triple your returns with these lower time frame trades. And that's going to be good for you if you are slightly more experienced, not the beginner, but you have some experience in the market, but you just want to be able to kind of increase your return and get better results, and also benefit from the small move on lower time frames. First, I want to explain you the theory behind the principle here. And the way this works is that we need to understand first of all the market context. Price is going to behave in different ways, and we'll keep it simple here. You have a sideways market, so price will go up and down within the sideways market. And here we talk about a fairly high time frame. So this would be an example of a daily chart. Okay, the other thing that could happen, the same thing on a daily chart, is you could have price that goes in a trending market. And this is obvious for most people. I just want to kind of get there because we need this for the example. Now, what you'll do, this is again a daily chart. What you'll do here is that you want to find ways to place your trades on lower time frame within your higher time frame picture. And the way you'll do this is you'll do the same thing as the higher time frame. You start with a trade on higher time frame. And for example, what you would do on a sideways market is look for these extremes. So price going at support and resistance areas. That's where you'll look for trades. What you'll do on a trending market is you look for the pullbacks. Price pulling back to these could be levels that we had in the past. They could be Fibonacci retracement. Any kind of zone you could look at, they could be moving averages too, touches on moving average to an EMA or whatever. That could work well too. So any zone you can find where price could retrace, that's a good place to look for trades. Now what we'll do here is we'll look for, at these points, trades on lower time frame within the bigger time frame. So we don't look for like a trend in the right direction. We don't look for all the time frames being aligned. We look for a lower time frame trade based on a zone on a higher time frame. And with that being said, we could have two scenarios. The first scenario is that when price comes back here or here at these levels, price could come to the level, okay, given that this is our level, price could consolidate and then move forward in the right direction. And then we will trade, in that case, a breakout. That's the first scenario. Okay, so very often price is going to come back to a level, either in the trend or in the sideways market. We'll have a kind of consolidation, sideways market, and then we'll go back in the right direction. That could be your case number one. Okay, we see this a lot. Case number two is that price will come back near the level, and then price would go back up quickly. Okay, now that's a bit extreme, but that can happen too. This is a reversal, so in that case we'll be trading a reversal on the lower time frame. The third example is less often, but price could happen to go back on the level, this being your level here. Price would do some random move here, and then it would go back in the direction, and then you will not take trades there because you don't have any setup, and then price will pull back and go in your direction. So you'll be trading here on the pullback in that case. So we've got three scenarios. We've got the breakout, the reversal, and the pullback. Okay, we can trade the three of them. You just have to know how to trade them and have strategies for each of them. Now that being said, these are easy strategies to find, of course, but I want to go through the charts and I want to show you how that kind of looks on a normal chart, because we could talk about the theory all day, but keep in mind the theory is not how you make money. You make money through practical examples and through trading in the right manner on the charts. So let's get to that right now. Here's an example of what we just discussed on USD Singapore dollar. I'm going to go here on a daily chart. You'll see that price recently, since about April the 7th, has been consolidating in this kind of range. Now what we see, we'll just go on the forward chart to make it more clear that we really have a range on this pair. And the range has a height that's quite enough for us to be able to trade and get good profit in that pair. And so what we'll do is we'll go on low time frame and we'll wait for price for us to go back to this zone. Now we could not trade here. We might be able to trade here. We could trade at this level here when price comes back to the top of the range for the first time, which is the previous level we had before. We could trade around there. We could trade back when we come back here. And that's the example we take for this video. That's the one I wanted to focus on. So what we'll do is we'll take this, and now we'll go lower time frames. And I'll circle it here in red so we can see it easier when we go down on lower time frame. I'm gonna go on a 15-minute chart for the fun of it. We'll find back our red example, which is right over here. And now what we'll do is we'll wait for, of course, price to go back to the low of the range here, the support area, which we had over here. And now we have a few options. Like we said before, we have 3 ways to trade that on lower time frame. We can trade the breakout, the reversal, or the pullback. In that case, I think we can trade all 3, which is good, but you have different ways of entering the market there. If you want to trade the breakout, the first one, you look at defining a range when price comes back to this area. Your range will be something around there. You can see how price reaches the same high and then the same low here. That would be your range, and you wait for breakout, which happens over here. You would obviously enter above the high, stop loss below the low, and you are at risk of 2 to 1 at least, or the size of the range. So the size of the range would be around this one here, something of the sort. So that would be a good trade. Okay, now that's the first option, and this works fine, but we have other options. Keep in mind that the other rule I use to confirm the breakout is through the RSI. I would want to have the RSI being overbought when we are reaching the top of the range and when we break the range, which is what we have over here. RSI is definitely overbought, which is a perfect sign. That's the first example. Now the other example we have is we could trade this as a reversal. So price here reversed a few times. We have this one over here where we reverse, we come back. So we have a few ways to enter the market here. And on this particular chart, I'm not sure we have any setup, but I like to use the Bollinger Band for reversals. I would add here my Bollinger Band. Settings are 20 and 2. And then I would look for engulfing candles that are breaking the Bollinger Band. And we actually have one over here. Not very good, not very clear. But we have no trade on this time frame. On the lower time frame, though, we could have a reversal trade with the Bollinger Band. So if you want to see other videos on that and how I do it with the strategy and everything, I'll put some videos below linked in the description so you can check this out on your own and go through that. But it's the same principle. And the last example, as we discussed, is waiting for a pullback. So price move here in your direction. We might have a first trade that's a winning trade. Now it does not mean we have to stop there. We can keep trading the pair if it moves in the right direction again. Now the way we'll do this is we'll wait for a pullback of the pair. And we have one over here, which is a pullback. Similar to a reversal here because we go really deep. Then we have a few other pullback around here, around there. And these will be less reliable, but like any trending strategy, the win rate tends to be lower, but your reward tends to be higher. So you can enter with the same thing with the Bollinger Band reversal, which I'll link below for you to learn the whole strategy in detail. Or you could look for maybe moving averages, where you'll buy one price such as moving averages. Here, not a good fit. That might be a better fit on different pairs, where you are able to, maybe later here if we move forward. That sounds good. So see how price here touches more often the middle band of the Bollinger Band, which is a 20 SMA. Good place to look for bullish trades in a trend. And here we'll meet the definition of a trend more than before. Same as over here. Those could be good places to look for a bullish trade, of course, on this pair. And the fact that you have a lot of upside, right? You have the whole range of upside, which is quite big. Even here we cannot reach the top on the lower time frame. That means you have a lot of room for profit on that pair. And as we said before, the win rate is likely to be lower on a lower time frame chart when you trade that with the higher time frame. But again, that could be a good addition to a regular trading style, a regular swing trading that is profitable. You want to add things to be able to get more profit. That could be a good way to do it. So that could be really good. I hope this makes sense. I hope you understand the principle here we talk about in the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as always. We have a course about day trading if you want to check it out. That's all linked below as well if you want to grab it and learn all these strategies for day trading. We teach you 3 strategies for 3 different markets. which are a little bit different than what we have over here, a little bit more detailed. So that's gonna be linked below. And as always, I'm happy to help. If you have any question, any concern, leave them in the comment section. I'll reply to them all. And I'll catch you here in Bangkok for the next video. Ciao.